EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. It's opening round coverage of the United States Open Championship. Welcome to Chambers Bay with its massive rolling fairways, towering dunes, undulating greens, and unpredictable coastal winds. This links-style course providing the backdrop for the world's best golfers here at the U.S. Open. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo will call every shot today for EA Sports. Frank, what is Chambers Bay all about?
A nice blend of links and parkland golf, really. You can still play the ball through the air, play your own style of play, but it just looks like you've got to play the ball along the ground, almost link style. These huge cavernous type bunkers that adorn the sides of the fairways, big greens, undulating greens. It really is a wonderful test, and off the back it can play very long.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Headed in the right direction with that birdie.
Just sneaks into the top 10. It's a good move this week.
Now to the second hole here at Chambers Bay, and Frank, it is not overly long. Where's the trouble here?
Well, 281 yards really to the big long bunker that goes all the way to the green. So as long as you can avoid that, you don't have to hit driver down here, just something that's going to be a little short of that. You're still only going to have 100 yards really, or just over 100 yards in for your second shot. A really good chance too to get off to a good start.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Frank going for another birdie here.
Chance to get on a real roll.
A nice birdie right there.
Could not have come at a better time. Third place now.
Now on to the first par 3 of the U.S. Open here at Chambers Bay.
It's all in front of you. Beautiful view there in the distance. You can see the water. Once again, it does slope a little right to left. Don't have to go straight at the flag here. This one's a little bit of a sleeper. Second shot.
That is professional with a capital P right there.
That's stealing.
Frank, so often a U.S. Open is defined by difficult par 4s. How does the fourth here at Chambers Bay stack up?
Well, Richard, adds to your list here. 495 yards. That says one thing, but the fact that it's anything other than straight, bunkers left and down the right side, plus the hole bends to the right. So this is a very strategic hole. If anything, something slightly left of center, but you're still going to have a lengthy second shot.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Good looking shot right here. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt.
good par given the situation.
Still tight, still close. Now the 5th hole here at the U.S. Open, and Frank, quite a dramatic tee shot.
Everything's really in front of you. You can see it from the elevated tee, bunkers left and right. That's not really the problem. One of the problems is that bunker just short, smack bang in the middle of this green. So the chances of flying that bunker and stopping on this green down breeze are probably next to none. So you're going to have to go in right or left of that bunker.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Just a little tap in here. Knocks that putt in for par to stay at 3 under. Out to the 6th hole now, where the action is underway. Let's check in on our featured golfer. Frank, this is a very nice start to the round. Couple of birdies on the scorecard. Looks extremely solid.
Yeah, it looks well poised, actually, to have a very good round today.
Nice drive, right in the fairway, and a good swing on that one. Now the approach shot here at the 6th at Chambers Bay, and what's the key, Frank?
Well, I think it's a fun second shot, Rich. Too often people just look at the yardage and they blaze away, but really, if you wanted to play this hole as the Scots want to play the game, and when the pin's at the back, you'd hit a low running shot that bisects those two bunkers.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Who knows? It is a 4-round tournament, setting himself up for a good weekend, maybe a great one. The young star makes his birdie. Well, Frank, what a stretch of tough par 4s here at Chambers Bay. Now to the 7th, long uphill par 4 and a lot of trouble to the right.
Yeah, and it's all sand, that's for sure. If you miss the field on the left, then it's all dunes, so take your pick, really. But ideally, that green piece that the superintendent often mows each and every day, that's the place to go. And for a U.S. Open at 508 yards, if you miss that little green strip, then this hole will be hazardous because it's going to play a lot longer than that uphill.
The green is up above, and this will play at least a club longer. This is a good-looking shot. And it generates some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. Getting set now over the putt. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Now to the 2nd par 5 of the round here at Chambers Bay and the U.S. Open. It's a long one.
Yeah, it's a beast. You miss this fairway, you could be hitting all day long, and of course that's going to rack up a fairly healthy score. Meanwhile, hit the fairway there. Only the longest hitters will reach this par 5 and 2. But still a good chance, even with a wedge, to make a birdie because the green slopes back to the player.
I mean, that is a monster hit right there. He carried that more than 350 yards. And now the 2nd shot here at this par 5.
Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
And it makes the green in regulation. starting to make a nice move. 5 under with that birdie for the tournament. Rich Lerner and Frank Nobilo back with you here at Chambers Bay in the U.S. Open. Now to the 9th hole, closing out this front side.
Well, it just goes to show the tremendous variety that the designer Robert Trent Jones II has done here. We've seen already a tremendous variation, and then this sort of just goes on top of it. Elevated tee, goes down to a green that just slopes a little bit to the right. Well bunkered on the right. It's a big green. Just managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back 9, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way. That club must have melted after that one.
All right, Frank, what's the best way to approach the 10th?
This is probably the flattest green on the golf course, Rich, and really, if you miss this green, you've made a mistake. There's no two ways about it. It's probably the most predictable second shot you're going to have on the golf course.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. This is a pretty good performance right here. 6 under for the tournament. Getting set to tee off at the 11th hole, long par 4, 537 yards. Frank, how do you play this hole, with a bazooka?
Yeah, try and take that June out of play, that's for sure, in the middle of the fairway. Bunkers down the left are more for scenic rather than they're not really problematic for the player off the tee. Just, as I said, hit it over that June, and then really there's a ridge in the middle of this green, so you've got to be on the right level.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time.
Well, par 4s, they're not all the same, Rich, but after that tee shot, I guess you can say this one's going to be easy.
That was a beauty right there. The 11th hole, Frank, what's the right way to get at it?
Just got to be cognizant of that ridge that cuts through the middle of this green, that sort of turns this green into one simple green and all these little complex sort of sections. That's the biggest thing, but that's also, you realize very, very quickly, you're playing links golf today.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Just a couple of feet. So with that make, now at 7 under par. Frank, as a player, do you like the drivable par 4? And we've seen these setups now at just about every single U.S. Open.
When you're playing well, there's no question, then they favor the guy playing well. But if you're struggling, no one likes their hand forced. The 12th forces your hand. It's tough to lay up on this hole.
Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. You can't leave an eagle putt short.
Now listen, anytime I left it short, I didn't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody you left it short.
Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. Coming down the stretch here at the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay, just 6 holes to play, and Frank, this par 4 13th will really test the players.
It is. If someone makes 3 here down the stretch, it will be monumental. A 4 here, no one would leave this hole unhappy.
Oh, he loves that one. You can see it. This one is high, it is deep, and it is gone. I like the looks of this one. Good, clean contact, and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Well, that was a good try. Didn't quite get the break right.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Continues to hold that sizable lead on the rest of the field. Frank, a 5th consecutive par 4 here at the U.S. Open. This is the 14th hole, and I'm guessing by the time you set foot on this tee, you'll know exactly where your game is at.
Oh, this one here, great reward for someone that's driving the ball well. If you can drive it, down the left middle, avoid that little one-pot bunker in the middle of the fairway, you're going to certainly shorten this hole up. And then you can start to use the contours of this hole too, that bend right to left. And 546 yards becomes much shorter than what you would think.
They'll be happy with that. In the fairway, now a good chance to attack this hole. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
You may have lost track at home, but we're keeping count, and that is 9 under for the day. At last, Frank, a break from those long par 4s. We just played 5 par 4s in a row. Now the par 3 15th.
And also, as you can see in the distance, you can actually see a tree. One of the few that are on the golf course. Hence the name of 15. It's called Lone Fir. Not overly long, just a little short hole. But in a U.S. Open, obviously they can play it at around 250 yards. It's just a fun par 3. But check where that flag is, because sometimes 3 is a good score here. But an easy flag position, and then go straight at it.
Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
Now a 7-footer. They'll take it. That's a par. Now to the 16th hole here at Chambers Bay, and Frank, it is pretty short hole. What are the chances to come out of here with a birdie?
Well, you've just come off the short 15th. You can get on a little bit of a run here, providing you get in the fairway first. You're not going to have an overly long second shot here. But once again, this is a precision hole, a little bit like 15. This is a tabletop green, so you're going to have to be right on the money with that second shot. That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, what's the danger here on the approach to the 16th, considering the green is really pretty small?
Well, obviously it's a short par 4, so you know that the problem is going to happen up ahead, and that's exactly what it does. This is probably one of the smallest, narrowest greens at Chambers Bay, and you can see it slopes dramatically from left to right. That has to be taken into consideration with the second shot.
Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
So just a formality here. 9 under for the round. Pressure's beginning to rise here. 17th hole of the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay. And this one, Frank, the par 3 will require a really good shot.
It's amazing how many US Opens have great 17th hole. I think of Winged Foot, par 3, 17th, even Marion, par 3. This one will certainly fit in the same vein. It's named Derailed, and it will derail many a player trying to win a US Open.
Well, he didn't knock down the flagstick right there, but 25 feet, that's not too bad. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Pretty good effort right there. Not a gimme, but well within his range. You can't leave it short, Frank.
Oh, and especially right in the middle.
The bad news is, Frank, that's a bogey, but the good news, still has the lead.
Can't afford another, though.
Now to the 18th hole, Frank, everyone wants to finish in style.
Yeah, the home hole here, once again you head back to just a wonderful view, and you realize that Chambers Bay was designed as a walking golf course, and it was designed to have fun and test every department of your game. 18 will do that. It probably gives you more trouble on both sides of the hole than any other hole on the golf course.
Good tee shot right in the short grass. And from the fairway for his second shot here.
Oh, that's off the beaten track. It's got 5 minutes to find it.
And setting up here in the rough. How about that shot right there from that lie in the rough to knock it that close? That's good. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Did the job right there. Frank, you surprised to see that name on top of the leaderboard?
I am surprised to see the name, but not that style of golf leading. It was great performance, especially tee to green. You don't often see people start that quickly.